This is the speaking test of International English Language Testing System taking place on 22nd of October, Tuesday at 10 Miss School English Center. Center number EL087. The candidate is Miss Amatullah Zuwairia Amreen. The candidate number is 075711. The examiner is Qazi Tahsin Raihan. The examiner number is 53719. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your full name, please?
My full name is Amatullah Zuwairia Amreen, and you may address me as Amreen.
Okay. So, Miss Amreen, may I see your identification, please?
Yes, sure.
Thank you. Okay, here you go. Now, in the first part, I would like to ask you some questions related to yourself, okay? So let's talk a little bit about singing. Do you like singing and why?
Yes, I do enjoy singing because it's a great way to unwind after a long day and express emotions. Whether hymning into my favorite tunes or singing in the shower, it makes me feel happy and more relaxed.
Have you ever learned how to sing?
I didn't have formal lessons, but I have always enjoyed singing for fun. So I have picked up some online tutorials and observed some professional singers, and that is why I gathered a bit knowledge about singing.
Who do you want to sing for?
I usually sing for myself, but if I had to sing for someone, it would probably be my close friends or family, as singing in front of them makes me feel more comfortable and they always offer encouragement.
Do you think that singing can bring happiness towards people?
Absolutely. Singing and music both have a powerful effect on people's emotion and mind, so they can certainly bring happiness and enjoy to any people.
Okay, let's move on to talk a little bit more regarding advertisements, okay? What kind of advertisements do you watch?
I usually watch advertisements related to technology, travel, and lifestyle products. They tend to grab my attention, and that is why I usually add advertisements related to those products.
Where can you see advertisements?
Advertisements are everywhere these days, so whether I'm going to anywhere, I see them on streaming services and on social media platforms, even when I'm doing classes on online. So they're really hard to avoid, but they're definitely part of our everyday life.
Have you ever bought something because of its advertisements?
Yes, I remember enrolling on a course which was about my academic studies after seeing a very convincing ad on their website. The way the product was marketed, highlighting its benefits and users' feedbacks really convinced me to give it a try.
Do you watch advertisements from the beginning to the end?
Rarely. I usually skip ads whenever possible, but if it's something that piques my interest, then I might watch it from the beginning to the end, but that's quite rare.
Okay, that is the end of part 1. Now, part 1-এ Miss Amreen কিছু mistakes করেছিলেন। For example, উনি অনেক জোরে কথা বলতে গিয়ে কিছু pronunciation related mistakes করছিলেন। যেহেতু IELTS speaking-এ আমাদের pronunciation-এ band 9 এর উপর মার্কিং হয়, সো আমাদেরকে pronunciation related problem নিয়ে খেয়াল রাখতে হবে। For example, উনি বলেছিলেন usually, instead of saying usually, it has to be usually. And other than that, উনি services আইটার উপর অনেক বেশি ফোকাস করেছিলেন, আর marketed এটার উপর অনেক ফোকাস করেছিলেন। ইনস্টেড এটা হবে সার্ভিসেস অ্যান্ড মার্কেটেড। ওকে, অ্যান্ড দেন উনি আরও কিছু প্রবলেমস করেছিলেন রিগার্ডিং preposition. For example, উনি বলেছিলেন classes on online. Instead of saying classes on online, এটা হবে classes online. And other than that, উনি একটা informal word use করেছেন, which is add. So যেহেতু এটা IELTS একটা formal speaking exam, so আমরা খুব formal and কোনো acronym use করব না, পুরো formally use করব. So for example, add এখানে আমরা use করব advert অথবা advertisement, not add. Add is an acronym. Okay, other than that, তার কিছু প্রবলেম ছিল, যেমন একটু filler words use হয়েছিল এই টাইপের, এগুলো আমরা avoid করার ট্রাই করব, but she used very good vocabularies, for example, convincing advertisements and picked up on. এগুলোর জন্য she will get a very good mark. Now, let's move on to part 2. I'm going to give you a topic, and on that topic, I want you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes, okay? And you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, so here is your pencil, and here is your paper. You can take notes if you want, and here is your cue card. I want you to describe a trip which you were looking forward to, but it was delayed. You have 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll let you know when the time's up. Okay? So your 1 minute of preparational time begins now.
I
That was the end of your 1 minute of preparational time. Now, could you start speaking, please?
Yes, of course. One trip that I was eagerly looking forward to but unfortunately was delayed was a trip to Nepal. Since from my childhood, I had a wish to visit the whole country Nepal, particularly the capital, Kathmandu, because of its rich history and culture. I saw many videos on YouTube and everywhere about it, and I was super excited to explore it by myself. But unfortunately for my academic exams, which got published just before 1 week of my departure, I got to know about my exams and I had to push the trip back. And I was so disheartened when I first heard about it, because I really packed everything and I marked that what I will do and what I will not do, even though I planned the entire itinerary. So when I came to know about that I'm not going there, I was really disheartened. And then though I cope with the situation by saying that academic exams should come first and I will get a chance to go there in future, and that is how that I cope with the situation. And then I realized that I took the right decision, because academic exams should get the priority first. And yes, it was a trip that I was looking forward to but was delayed.
Thank you very much, Miss Amreen. That is the end of part 2. Can I have the paper pencil booklet back?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, part 2-তে Miss Amreen কিছু particular mistakes করেছিলেন. For example, উনি exams বলেছিলেন. Again, like advertisements, ad বলা যেভাবে যাবে না, since this is an acronym, আমরা examsও বলতে পারবো না. We'll have to say examinations, যেহেতু এটা একটা formal conversation. Then, she used very good vocabularies, for example, push the trip back, then itinerary, then cope with, and so on. So এই ধরনের vocabularies আমরা expect করি যে স্টুডেন্টরা তাদের এক্সামে বলবেন. And other than that, উনি আরও কিছু repetitive problems করেছেন, যেমন that is why এই ধরনের কথাগুলো repeat হচ্ছিল বারবার, although she corrected herself later on. And at the very end of her speaking test, উনি exactly topic এ যেটা বলা ছিল যে a trip you were looking forward to but got delayed, exactly same কথাটাই বলেছেন. But what we suggest to the students যে আপনারা always question এ যেটা শুনছেন সেটাকে paraphrase করে বলেন, আর question থেকে কোনো word borrow না করেন. যদি আপনি question থেকে কোনো word borrow করেন তাহলে আপনার এরকম connotation দিবে যে আপনাদের vocabulary অনেক limited. Okay, so এই জন্য আমরা ট্রাই করব প্যারাফ্রেজ করে বলতে, synonymous word ইউজ করতে. And her total time was 1 minute 15 seconds, which was good, but it could have been better. The safe region for speaking test would be 1 minute 45 seconds, and যদি entirely 2 minutes ধরে বলা যায় তাহলে absolutely the best. Okay, now we're going to move on to part 3 and দেখবো আমরিন কেমন পারফর্ম করছে. Since now you've been telling me about a trip you were looking forward to but got delayed. Now I would like to ask you some questions related to this topic in general. Okay, so how do people usually go traveling?
I guess it depends on the distance. If it's a longer distance, then people would absolutely choose airplane, because it's the most convenient and the safest way to travel and to cover long distances. But in terms of shorter distance, people will go for buses or trains, as these are common choice for in many cities.
In what ways can traffic conditions be improved in a city condition?
I believe there are many ways to improve traffic conditions in a city. For the first thing, what can we do is to enhance the public transportation systems, make it more convenient and more easy to people. And then adding more metro networks would be a great thing to decrease the problems. So yes.
Would people still drive a car if transportation is free of cost?
I guess it depends on the convenience and the flexibility of public transportation system, because if public transportation is not that much flexible or not that much comfortable for people, then they will not absolutely choose it. But if it's reliable and convenient for others, and especially if it's free, then people would still choose it over driving. And in cities where it's not reliable, then as I said, that they will not choose it. So yes, it depends on the convenience and flexibility of the transportation system.
And the last question is, how can transportation in rural areas be developed?
In rural areas, there are many ways and many needs to develop public transportations. For the first thing, which people can do, which government can do to develop a rural areas transportation system, is to add more bike lanes and make public transportation system more comfortable and flexible for people, as it's not that much flexible, as we all know. And other than that, they can add more ride-sharing apps, which will absolutely help people. So in these ways, public transportations in rural area can be developed.
Thank you very much, Ms. Amreen. That is the end of your IELTS speaking test. All right, so part 3-তে আমরিনের comparatively একটু ডিক্লাইন করেছিল পারফরম্যান্সে। সো কি প্রবলেম হয়েছিল আমরা একটু বলি, বাট বিফোর দ্যাট আমরা একটু তার ভালো সাইডগুলো নিয়ে কথা বলি। ফর ফার্স্ট কোয়েশ্চেন, যে হাউ ডু পিপল ইউজুয়ালি গো ট্রাভেলিং, এখানে সে কিছু কম্পারেটিভ এক্সাম্পলস দিয়েছিল। ফর এক্সাম্পল, ফর লঙ্গার ডিস্টেন্সেস airways মানুষ প্রেফার করে, দ্যাটস ওয়ান। অ্যান্ড আদার পার্ট অফ দ্য স্পেকট্রাম ইজ যে শর্টার ডিস্টেন্স হলে পিপল প্রেফার মেট্রো, railways and bus. So it's a good comparative example. Part 3-তে what we look forward to is more reasons to why you believe it, more rationale or more comparative examples. So very good on that part. However, পরে আমি কিছু জায়গায় তার কিছু grammatical mistake দেখেছি with parts of speech. যেমন উনি বলেছিলেন convenience and easy. Convenience and easy, না? Convenient and easy. And then উনি বলেছিলেন they will not absolutely chose it. Chose it হবে না, choose it হবে, কারণ they will not ছিল। Another problem যেটা আমি তার স্পিচে পেয়েছি, যে convenient and flexibility ওয়ার্ডটা বারবার রেপিটেটিভ ম্যানারে ফিরে আসছিল। যদি আমরা সেম কথা বারবার ইউজ করি তাহলে আমাদের লেক্সিক্যাল রিসোর্সে অনেক কম মার্ক আসবে। সো এই জন্য আমরা এটাকে অ্যাভয়েড করার ট্রাই করব। ওভারঅল আমরিন ডিড গ্রেট, বাট আজকে কিছু গ্রামাটিক্যাল মিস্টেকস অ্যান্ড প্রোনাউন্সিয়েশন মিস্টেক রিলেটেড প্রবলেমস ছিল। আদার দেন দ্যাট, তার vocabulary আর fluency was absolutely amazing. So overall, I would give her a band score of 7.